today. So let's look at a balanced approach to your nutrition. So prioritizing whole foods is a good first step. They're more nutritionally dense, and it's a nice alternative to substitute for some of the more refined foods that don't have as much nutritional value in it. So look at your fruits, your veg, your whole grain, lean proteins, and your healthy fats. Reduce your processed foods. This is going back to exactly what I just said. That are high in sugar and unhealthy fats, or with artificial additives in it. Most of these have very little nutritional value in it, in which case you can consider it empty calories. Imagine the fuel that you put in your car, we'll use that analogy. If you ended up diluting your petrol, as an example, with water, it's going to damage your car and your car's not going to run efficiently. So think of it like that. Plan your meals ahead. This is also a game changer. I'm actually going to go through the steps that I took to drop 8 kilos in, it was about 16 weeks in all, with ups and downs. It wasn't a streamlined progression. I'm human. There was periods where I regressed and then had to pick up the pace to move forwards and progress again. But I'm going to share that with you because I think it will help. There was loads of hidden gems in my experience that I'm hoping will have a positive impact on you. So when planning ahead, dedicate a time when you can prepare your meals, cook large batches, and then you can store it away for either that week or for a rainy day when you're ill prepared and you're just time poor. Those can be lifesavers. Use themed nights. So we have Pizza Fridays, and we like to now and then we do like a tapas breakfast. So it's not on a specific day, but it usually falls on a Sunday, and it's really, really beautiful because you can just lay little nibbles out, and if you're creative with your spread, then you can actually section off your table into the thirds. Your lean proteins on one side, your carbohydrates in the middle, and then your healthy fats on the other side. Doesn't matter how you mix it up really, but it's a nice addition to the presentation, and you can just pick at it, leave the spread there throughout the day, and you always got something healthy to come back and snack on. The other one is sushi nights. Always go down a treat. And then fajitas. Loads of different ideas that we tend to fall back on when we're feeling adventurous and wanting to mix things up. And it helps the kids as well, because it's all about imagination, getting all that color in there. So use theme nights. It always keeps things interesting. Stay mindful about your snacks. So the tapas spread helps with that, because within it you've got loads of different snacks. You could pair your olives with cottage cheese as an example, which are both sources of good oils and healthy fats. You could pair your peanut butter with apples or a fruit, your bananas as an example, so you get your electrolytes, but you also get some fats in there as well, and it's very satisfying. And it also satisfies a sweet tooth. It's one of my go-tos. Yogurts, which is a nice easy go-to. Hummus with fruit or veg sticks. There's tons of things within that tapas spread that you could use as snack ideas. So I would say opt for snacks that combine everything that I've mentioned, your proteins, fats, and your carbohydrates, because then you get a nice rounded eating experience with foods that will give you energy that will last longer. So regular movement is a must. We all do this. Some days we struggle compared to others when work really just dictates our life and the activity is built into it. Incorporate your physical activity into your daily routine where you find that you live a sedentary life. So if you're always seated, then you have to actually plan ahead, just like with your food, to be active. Take regular desk breaks, go out for walks. I know the weather's not great during the winter periods, but there are brief moments of absolutely gorgeous scenery, even in the cold. So take mindful walks, and it will help you to hopefully observe these beautiful moments, and it's a nice way to get your steps in. It's not just about the activity, there is a psychological benefit to it, especially if you're sat at a desk and a computer screen all day. One of my, I'll call Tom a friend. He has migraines, and that's a result of constantly looking at a screen, editing videos and all that sort of stuff. My wife as well can suffer with them sometimes. So taking a break from your desk or your work can also help to relieve that pressure from the psychological stresses of your day. So use those tools, use your activity, and engage in activities that you find enjoyable and also sustainable within your busy lifestyle. So listen to your body. This is something that we don't always do, and even I fail at it sometimes. So pay attention to hunger cues, energy levels. Eat when you're hungry and nourish your body with a balanced meal. Take everything that we've already spoken about and wrap it into this one piece of advice. Adjust your protein based on your activity levels. The more strenuous your activity levels and the longer sustained your activity levels, the more protein you're going to need for recovery and muscle repair. So hydration awareness, it's important to note the difference between hunger and cravings, and also hunger and thirst. So craving is in the mind, hunger is in the belly. And if you don't feel hunger in the belly, then it's more than likely a craving. That's when you go to water. I tend to drink as much water as I can within those moments, probably a glass full, and then I wait a few moments to see if my mind has settled. And if it hasn't, I go for another glass. And if I still feel like I need something, then I will find or lean into the snacks that I've prepared. If I haven't prepared any snacks, might slip, fall, go for something a little cheeky, a little bit guilty, but then I get back up and get back on my horse and I keep riding. So I'm just addressing the simple fact that we all have our moments when things don't quite go to plan. But having a plan in place is always good for us to fall back on. So take that with a pinch of salt. Include hydrating foods in your meals, such as your cucumbers, watermelons, oranges, and supplement your hydration as well. So if you can't get enough water in or can't get enough fruits in, then look for those alternative products that will help you stay hydrated. Again, those alternative products aren't long term. It's just to get you in the habit of maintaining that regular routine. Then you can switch it out for water or something that you find more enjoyable that still gives you that element of hydration. So there are steps that you can take as with everything else. A balanced approach to nutrition involves ensuring an appropriate mix of nutrient-rich foods like your carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, while prioritizing whole nutrient-dense foods. This strategy not only supports optimal energy levels and bodily functions, but also promotes long-term health and wellness, which is what we're all here for. So key elements include diverse food choices, mindful eating that can pair up with mindful activities, so your walks, like I mentioned earlier, portion control, so you're not always eating too much. I believe it's the Asian community, don't quote me on this, where you eat up to 80% of your meal, so you're not always over full or completely full. So that's a common practice there. You could adopt something like that. And also regular meals and snacks throughout the day. So as long as these are planned, they're balanced and nutritious, then it will help to promote stable energy, but also help with your weight management or any other challenges that you're dealing with. I guess the best way to approach it is you're going to look at everything that we've put on the table and look at it as, I'm a fussy eater, quite picky sometimes. So I look at it as, right, what looks good to me? What is it that I can digest now? And then I look at everything else that's left, and I'll come back to it when I finish with the first tip, the first habit, and I've nailed it. And then I come back to the table and say, right, I've nailed that. That was tasty. What else can I try and implement into my plan? So small incremental steps, just like your training, small incremental steps will help build sustainable long-term habits. And that's going to help to facilitate a healthier lifestyle, a healthier sense of self and body image, a healthier relationship with your food and with yourself, and a better psychological outlook. I do believe that there's a lot of wisdom and useful information in here, so use it. If there's any information that you're uncertain about and you need a little clarity or advice, or you even just have some input, then please, please, please feel free to share your thoughts in the group so we can all learn from each other.